So we're not doing
there's
preview this week.
No, we're gonna
there's
save
an
it.
there's an isekai for the goblin.
There's a what?
Goblin?
There's a goblin isekai. Oh, that's cool. Re monster.
You're too far deep, man. Bro, it's like, oh fuck yeah, goblin isekai. This shit's gonna be heat. But yeah, we'll probably save it for when we get one other person at least, just because like us three.
But
Yeah,
we
that's
have the
fine.
best
This is like-
taste of the whole bunch.
Hey man, what was that Love Flops show you were talking to me about?
It's peak.
Okay. I know for a fact I don't have the best taste. My taste is ass.
It's peak insanity. That's what it is.
I like everything.
Yeah, I'm willing to
You're-
give anything as long as it's done well.
You're our pro, Navi, you know? You're our wise shaman
Oh,
at the top of the
yeah,
mountain.
and then there's the Hibike Euphorium.
Yeah, Sound Euphorium.
Oh,
I need to get into that show. Like, as it seems like
Because
my kind of tea.
I haven't watched it, but I only heard good things about it.
my man used the Japanese name. It's like, come on, man, just call it Sound Euphonium.
Oh, Go Go Loser Ranger! I forgot about that. That might be a big one.
That
too.
actually sounded
You-
heat. Hang on.
You
I was
you need to watch Data Life, Moon.
I know that's like high on my list of like shows I need to get to, but it's just it's daunting with the 4 seasons.
It's literally a guy who saves girls by going on dates with them. It's
Hell yeah!
a real life simulator, dating simulator.
Like,
See,
how do
that's
you not?
peak.
Oh, there's that show that we talked about like a long time ago where the grandpa and grandma get turned young again.
Oh yeah, that one
That's
actually
it.
looked kind of cute.
That's here too, so I might check that out. All right, this is not the anime spring preview episode. Hi everyone, this is a slice of anime. We're not doing the spring preview, even though that's all we're doing right now is looking at what's coming up in the spring.
Ignore
Hi, Moonlight.
everything we just said.
It's like spoilers for next episode. Shows that we're interested in. But we're a little short staffed this week. It's just we got me, we got Wolf, we got Navi, the best 3. So I mean, you're
The
good to
best
go.
people. Yeah, come on. What do you want?
Good
Bench and
taste.
Dark here?
With
Dark's
their
gonna talk about Yu-Gi-Oh.
talking about
Those
you get
fairy
Bench to
tale
talk
lovers.
about. Yeah, Bench here to talk about Fairy Tale. Like, we don't need that.
Oh, I forgot. What was he rereading or rewatching it? I
Oh,
forget.
Fairy Tale should be coming out this season too. Never mind. We'll talk about it next
Oh
season.
no!
Next 2 weeks.
I don't
He's
see
gonna
Fairy
talk
Tale
about how
listed
it's
here.
peak.
Is it summer season then? I guess
I
they
think it's
change
summer.
it.
I'm checking right now, dude. Summer.
Oh yeah,
is
it's summer.
fall.
They
Yeah, it's
consider-
the
they
first
cons-
thing on the summer one. Fairy Tale 100 Years Quest.
They
The first
consider
thing.
May summer. Does it come out in
I
May?
can't even bother to look at summer right now. I know it's full. I just know because we've gotten
Oh,
so many
'cause-
release dates lately, and everything is July.
Yeah.
What? There's no June, no August. Everything's July.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's just anime in
It's
general. They
out-
like to come
okay.
out either in April or July or January.
Well, yeah,
or
I guess because they all
October.
start at the beginning of the respective season.
Yeah, they're very formulaic in that way, which honestly I respect that.
Yeah, it's like I
love
respect it.
that.
It's like you know when everything's starting.
Exactly. But we're not doing a preview today. This is gonna be a super chill episode. Hopefully a short episode, unless like Navi goes on a rant about how much
Another
he hates Fairy
isekai
Tail.
rant.
Nah. I only
But
watched
yeah,
2 anime.
Yeah, I didn't watch too much either. But
Not a
I have a
little
couple of topics that we can bring up, just small things that I wanted to discuss with the crew. But yeah, I mean, tell them where you can find us.
You can find us here on YouTube, Spotify, many other platforms that I cannot remember.
Oh my God.
I don't have
YouTube,
the
Spotify,
paper.
Apple Podcasts, Pocket Casts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Castbox, Radio Public, and Audible. Also, like
Woohoo.
the podcast, check us out on Twitter, and check out our main show, A Slice of Gaming podcast, every Saturday morning.
Woo.
Jeez, man, I'm doing your job for you.
My job is on the gaming show. You can take care of the anime show.
But yeah, I guess we could just start out with what we're watching. I'll go first. Why not? We don't have a bench here to say me, let me go. So we could we're a bit more willing to decide our order as we go. But yeah, I'll go ahead. I haven't really watched much. I continued more Sket Dance. I'm actually pretty close to finishing it. Very excited. Just I have noticed it kind of does have that thing where you know that feeling, Navi. Do you know that feeling when you're like watching a really long running anime and then by the end you're like, oh, this is why it got canceled, or like this is why I stopped getting chapters or anything because you start to notice the big quality dip.
I can't say I have experience. I
Oh, really?
have watched something to the end with a complete ending where I was like, man, this was kind of trash.
Just realize it took you all the way to the end to realize, oh, this is trash.
Wait,
The
so
fairy
like,
tale.
wait, so like the ending was trash, or just you
No,
got to
like
the end and you
like the
realized
whole
it was bad?
yeah, you got to the end and you just take everything in and you're like, this show's kind of trash.
God, I feel that. Sometimes you're just like, you watch a show just for the sake of watching it, and then you get to the end and you're like, well,
That
don't
was
know
Rent
what
a
happened.
Girlfriend for me. It took me to season
Well,
3 to realize it to wear off. I'm like, oh, wait, this is actually trash.
well, I'm 20 episodes in, might as well finish the series. Is how
Yeah,
I
exactly.
because I give almost all series at least 10 episodes.
Yeah, Sket Dance was weird because like it was so strong for I'd say the first like 55 episodes, but then recently, like I noticed a lot of the episodes they just feel kind of aimless and there's not a lot going on. Which I mean, yeah, so slice of life, that's slice of life problems, but like more so than usual. Like I feel like a lot of the characters kind of had their complete arc, so now it's like we're just kind of filling time
It
until
turned
like
into a
we get to the
gag.
end of the series. I'm sorry.
It turned into a gag anime.
Yeah, pretty much. Like it's just like it's one of those shows. You know what? Okay, you have that annoying thing with shows. Spy X Family did this that annoyed me, where there's 2 plot lines per episodes. Sket Dance
Yeah,
started doing that now, and it's like they're not developed plot lines. They're just really short, uninteresting stuff. But like you said, Navi, I was just like, hey, I got this far. I might as well finish it. It's like 7 episodes left.
What
But
is this? Sketch Dance?
yeah, Sket.
yeah.
It's still
Never,
good. I still enjoyed it, but
never heard of it.
I talked about it last time. No one ever listens to me, by the way. I want to point that out for the
It's the
podcast.
same creators from Jitama. So
Yeah, on the editor of Gintama.
Oh, okay. Now I remember you talking about that. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I still recommend the show. I would say at least like give it like maybe the first 20 episodes. Give it a shot. Even then, you could probably enjoy it in the first few episodes. But then after that, sadly, the last I think it was last week or the week before, Akira Toriyama had passed away, and that hit me hard. I really, rest in peace to the goat. And so I actually decided, you know what, I'm gonna respect his legacy. I actually started watching the original Dragon Ball, like the OG Kid Goku.
that's the good Dragon Ball.
Okay, Navi, let's
That is
not
the
get into
good
that
Dragon Ball.
conversation.
No, I'm just saying.
No.
Just saying.
Listen, just saying. We still hasn't been a month yet, so you can't say anything yet.
No, I love Dragon Ball. Though. Dragon Ball is
No,
amazing.
original Dragon Ball. Yeah, no. So
Yeah.
far, it's very much a gag show. I've only gotten like 13 episodes in, so I'm still in like the peel off arc. So
Yeah, in the beginning, it's very gaggy, but you start seeing the character development as you keep going on. I
yeah,
forget
for
how many
sure.
episodes there are. I think there's 75.
How
much?
no, it's 150.
150 in the original? Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of something I just put on in the background while like playing games. But yeah,
It starts getting serious around episode. I forget. Around the end, it starts getting real serious.
Yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying it very much as a comedy show. Like, it's a good gag anime, if anything. And I love like just Akira Toriyama's like world and character design
Yeah.
so much, and what he's able to do with that. Like, he has this like sense of character design that you see a character, and it's like you immediately know what their
Oh yeah,
MO and
you
like style
immediately
is.
know.
He has his
Yeah,
own style.
and that's what I love about his work. So, just seeing that is immediately
Everyone
a
go by
big fan.
Sandland.
Yeah, Sandlane, I got that demo downloaded. But no, I so far I've just been like absolutely digging it, but I don't this is something that's like a very long haul type show. Like this is something you're not going to see me finish it until like maybe a year from now. Like it's just
Are
whenever
you
I'm
planning
in the
on
mood.
sticking with it?
Yeah, I'll stick with it. It's like I'm a sucker
you're
for these
gonna
older shows.
you're gonna binge it eventually once it starts getting into arcs.
Yeah, I bet.
Once he starts once you get to a tower, I think that's like the first arc. I forget.
Yeah.
If
I
you
heard
watch
there was
Dragon
like a
Ball
big
Z,
tower.
yeah, if you watch Dragon Ball Z, you know what the tower is.
But no, I'm very
You
excited.
you
It's honestly
have
a
you
really
watched?
cool feeling. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Did you watch Dragon Ball Z?
As a kid, yeah, I watched it like on and off. I know most
Uh,
of what happens in DBZ through like osmosis of like talking to friends and also the Budokai games.
yeah.
But no, it is one of my favorite things as someone who watched Dragon Ball Z, played the games. It is kind of cool seeing the origin of a lot of characters, like realizing like, wow, Yamcha is like one of the first people Goku met.
Yeah,
and he's
you see a
a
in the
dumbass.
first. It's why I love Dragon Ball so much because you see a lot of character development. It's not just people powering up like in Dragon Ball Z. It's you actually see them go through certain situations where they can't just power up.
Oh yeah, for sure. And seeing Goku not in like the super overpowered state, but like really struggling, like even as a kid, it's pretty cool to see that. And I also I'm a sucker for just like them hunting the Dragon Balls. Like I'm a sucker for that type of plot trope of like, oh, there's 7 magical objects, go find them. Like it's very basic, but I love that type of stuff. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I again, I'm not sure how long I'll stick with it, or I'm gonna stick with it, but this is like a very long haul type thing. So I'll be on again, off again with it, but I'll update as I go. Navi, what have you been watching?
Uh, I have been watching Taxi, but I'll talk about that. I haven't finished that, so I'll talk about that later. Um, I've been watching Bakuman. Have you heard of it?
Oh, I've heard about that one.
The
Yeah, this
manga
Death Note creator, right?
manga anime. Yeah, yeah. So it's about some high schooler who is pursuing his dream to become a
Oh, okay. I
manga
remember hearing
author.
about this.
With his classmate who is responsible with writing the story, and then the main character is responsible for drawing it. And they actually show you the real side of what it takes to be a manga artist. So they show you. So they go through multiple arcs. It's only 3 seasons, 75 episodes total, I believe. Uh, I'm on season 3 now. I watched the first 2 seasons like for a few months now. Uh, Basically, you see the creator go through a whole bunch of trials of trying to become one of the best. And because the manga industry is always moving, they're always dropping a manga. So you get to see how he gets to the top and then gets dropped back to the bottom. And it's really great because you get to see the dark side of creating manga, but you also get to see the good side. It's the most realistic view I got into I got to see into this world.
Is it more comedy focused or more drama?
It is. Have you? It is more drama. It is. Have you watched? Have you watched any hobby anime?
Hobby anime.
Sports or hobby? Either one,
Mm,
because they're
I think
basically
Food
sites.
Wars is the closest one. That's like more of a
Yeah,
shonen.
yeah, that's more of a shonen. So it's one of the better hobby animes. Basically, uh, it's slice of life, but there's a lot more going on than just slice of life. Uh,
It's
you
like
you
slice
get
of
There's an
work
actual
life.
plot.
yeah, well, yeah. There's extra plots, there's subplots. Where slice of life, it's kind of mind numbing. This is not.
Whoa, buddy. Let's slow down a bit.
Yeah.
You don't gotta hit slice of life in the crossfire here.
He's that deep in the
I mean,
isekai.
there's good slice of life, but there's more bad than good, which is why it's
Nah, I
mind
get that.
numbing sometimes.
We can say that about isekai too.
We said that about
Mm,
every genre.
y-
Let's be real.
Yeah, and pretty much anime in general. I'd say
Yeah, but hey, that's why we love it because when they get to the good stuff, ooh, that's some
it's
good
like,
shit.
oh, it hits.
And
Would you
then I
wait real
oh,
quick on Bakuman? Is it? Do you when you watching or reading it, do you like really notice that it is the Death Note's creator, or is it like if someone didn't tell you that you wouldn't know?
no, you would not know if it's Death Note creator.
So it's like
For
completely
for
different
for for,
vibe.
for one, the the later half is still good.
Listen, man. Okay. Listen, the second half of Death Note isn't that good, but like they tried. You can at least say that.
It is nothing. It feels nothing like Death Note. It doesn't feel like the author of Death Note, which is a good thing, because the the next work, the next project he did was that was that
Platinum End.
I what was it called?
Platinum End, I think it was.
Yeah, and that was shit.
Yeah, I know. I've seen a lot of people. I see like 90% of people go like, "This is complete dog shit," and then there's that weird 10% where it's like, "You guys don't get it. This is like a masterpiece."
Yeah, he was trying to capture the magic of Death Note, which I don't think you can capture again. It's lightning in the bottle.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. But yeah, what else have you been up to?
So I've been trying to find a void for my rom-coms ever since I finished Love is War. No rom-com has been able to match that. So I found this anime called Science Fell in Love, so I tried to prove it.
Yeah, I like that one.
I'm
Pretty
on
good.
the second season. I'm on the second season now. It's basically Love is War, but instead of like two people competing, it's two people trying to prove that they love each other through science. It
That's
has
pretty
some
good.
it has some fun moments. It's not as funny as Love is War, but I have chuckled here and there. Um, so far I'm liking it. The characters are interesting. The plot lines are interesting. I enjoy they actually use real science to prove love. So they go really deep into the science of it. So that part is really cool. But other than that, I don't really have much to say about it. It's not Love is War. That's all I can say.
That's the problem. Is I don't
You
think
are not
anything
him.
is.
And
Real quick on that one. So is it like it's like trying to be funny, but it doesn't land a lot of the jokes, or is it just like sporadic jokes?
it's funny. I wouldn't say it's not funny. Uh, some jokes are for me, some jokes aren't for me. But I know some people will laugh at those jokes. So it just depends. Uh, the it's not a harem as of right now,
Okay.
but I heard
It's not.
that I heard at the end of the season 2 it might be a harem.
I didn't get that.
I love that idea. It's
So
just like it's not a harem yet.
there's not a lot of etchy. I mean, no, not there's not much etchy. So it's a good wholesome anime.
Sounds like a vibe.
And then thank in honor of the new Spice and Wolf anime, I bought 15 volumes of Spice and Wolf.
I just casually bought 15 volumes.
I was not
Happens to
able
the
to
best
buy
of us.
I was not able to buy the rest because they're sold out on Crunchyroll. So I have to wait.
So you've been reading it?
No, I want to complete this set before I start reading it.
I just imagine just like you have all of them except like the last one, and they're all sitting on your shelf, and you're like, not yet, not yet.
Finally, I have them all.
That's what I'm doing with Shuka Tensei. I'm missing one volume, and it's sold out, and I don't want to buy Amazon because every time I buy books from them, they always come in bent or something. And Crunchyroll, they literally packed it with a whole bunch of uh, bubble wrap in a box. It comes out in pristine condition every time I order at Crunchyroll.
Bro is doing a quick Crunchyroll advertisement real quick. Maybe they could sponsor this episode.
Hey,
Yeah,
they have their
please
own
sponsor.
anime podcast now. It's like we can be their side piece, you know.
Oh, they have an anime podcast? Shit, I'm gonna try to apply to them. Hang on, give me a second.
It's like I'm gonna leave this one, go to the real one.
How would that podcast go? Like if you try to if you mention High Dive once, you get banned.
I was about to say
they're-
it's like we can't talk about the high dive.
Or since they're owned by PlayStation, it's like, yeah, I've been playing this one game on Xbox. Banned. That's insane. I'm very interested in that Spice of Wolf anime, which we'll talk about a lot more when we do the preview. But everything I see on that is like, okay, this is shaping up to be an absolute banger of a rom com.
Yeah,
I
I like
watched the
to check it
original.
out.
I watched the
Nah.
original and I really liked it, but the original isn't source material. So the new one is all source material, getting straight from the light novel.
Is that everything you've been watching?
Yeah. Uh, yeah. I've
You
been
know,
watching Violet Evergarden again, and that's that's sad again. But that's it.
That's why you
Gotcha,
watch
gotcha.
Science Love.
exactly.
Yeah, to make me smile.
Moon, what have you been watching?
Well, I haven't watched today's episode of Magical Girl, so I need to get to that. It's what I was going to do, and then I realized, oh wait, we need to record this podcast.
Oh, don't blame us. Me
I
and
blame
Navi are just
myself for
chilling.
forgetting.
Yeah.
And then I remembered that the Bunny Girl Senpai movie is out this Sunday, so I had to finish my rewatch. I have like 3 more episodes left. Just reminding myself like how good this show is. And
Amazing
then
show.
it's like, when do we get College Arc? I need College Arc series now.
How long is that show again? Like 2
12,
seasons?
12 episodes.
A movie.
Wait,
It's
Okay,
12
wow.
episodes. It's 12 episodes and now 3 movies.
Yeah.
what is this obsession with animes finishing their season and going like, well, now we're doing a movie?
Oh, because
'Cause-
they don't have enough material to complete
Yeah.
a season.
The
So they
story
make
of
it
at
into a
least the
movie.
first movie that I watched, would not work as like an arc
Yeah.
of the anime. It would work for maybe like 3 episodes, and that's about it.
Just release 3 episodes and then have us
No,
look for them like they're the One Piece.
Wolf just split the movie like it was supposed
It's
to
not
be.
the same. It's not the
Yes,
same.
it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be split. So just split it.
No, but like now it's a movie, so now I can't watch it. but no, I mean, I'll watch it one of these. I will say, I brought it up for that anime club discussion, and then Moon gave me the actual synopsis of the show. I'm like, oh, I'm not into this at all.
I
Hang on.
realized I gave a horrible
You-
synopsis.
You would like it.
You were like, oh, it's about puberty. I'm like, oh, damn.
No, they just call it that.
Oh, like the puberty
It's-
demon from
so-
Loudmouth.
Yeah. It's just
So
called
it's-
puberty syndrome
it's-
because it happens to teenagers. That's the only reason why they call it that.
So it's not about puberty per se. It's about the emotions you feel during puberty. So like how some emotions will make you feel like no one notices you, or you might feel like
I'm trying to go through the
Well,
arcs right now. So there's the disappearance
Yeah.
arc. There's the time loop arc. There's the doppelganger arc.
Ooh, I like time loops.
And then I'm going into the body swap arc right now, which is the last one.
And then the bodies where you're growing up and you might feel like you want to be someone else because you feel like they have a better life than you. So those feelings manifest
Into like this
and-
magical force that happens that makes it real.
Yes. So it's not more about what is happening to your body, it's more what's happening to you emotionally as you grow.
Emotionally, mentally. Because
Yeah.
like the time loop arc deals with you not wanting, you're pretty much avoiding a problem. It's like, but it's teaching you, oh no, you need to tackle this problem head on. Instead, this girl keeps on reliving the same day because she doesn't want to move on to the next day. So stuff like that.
Huh.
The doppelganger one,
no,
the doppelganger arc is the interesting one because it's like you see yourself as 2 sides of the same person doing 2 different things because you can't agree on something. The way they tackled that was really cool.
I just really hate that title.
It's a terrible title.
It's a clickbait. Yeah, that's
It's
why
a
it's so
clickbait.
good. That's why it's so good. It got people like Moon and me to watch it because we wanted to watch some generous shit.
I think I watched it. Well, it's like I noticed it at first, but then I think I watched Gigug's video on it, and he was just like praising it out the wazoo. I'm like, okay, I guess I need to go watch this now.
That's why I didn't want to watch it because Giga praised it. I'm like, I don't like this guy. No, I'm kidding. That's in case he collabs with us in the future. I can't. have
just
that
like,
on the
just in
record.
case we're gonna cover our base. Hey, Giga, okay, let's come on to the show. Let's all go on Trash
Yeah.
Taste.
He starts doing his research. It's like, oh, this guy says he hates me. I'm out.
They don't like Fate. Okay,
We love isekais. Come here.
We love Fate. I love Fate. I don't know about these doofuses.
yeah. Besides that, I stayed up to date on A Sign of Affection. That's still really good. I'm sad there's only like 1 or 2 more episodes left of the sub, and then like 4 more episodes left of the dub. And let's see, what else did I do?
You watched JoJo, right?
I started JoJo. I binged through the whole thing.
You binged the whole. Wait, which JoJo?
No,
I
he
didn't.
didn't. He didn't.
Well, if you got
there are
to part 2,
There are days where I would say to myself, I'm like, what if I just started watching JoJo again? You know, who's gonna stop me? And then
Yes, I need to come on
actually-
here, and Navi will like me when I say like I
You-
fell off during part
yeah,
3.
yeah, yeah.
Part
I
3
would
is
praise
fun.
you.
You have
So-
no
so-
fun.
so
You
which-
are not a
So you would love part 4. It is a detective story. You
Hell
will
yeah.
love
part 4 is
4.
fucking incredible.
Yeah.
I
I
will
need
say
to
the
get
first
to
half
it.
the first half of part 4 is kind of weak, though. I'll say that. It doesn't start picking up till the second half, I'd say. But also,
It
don't
was-
trust me. Apparently, I'm
was-
the weird one for liking 3.
It was faster than part 3 though.
Oh my god, your obsession with part 3 hate. It's like every time JoJo comes up, he's like, no, wait, I gotta cover my bases. I don't like
Yeah.
part 3, guys.
Because too many people like it, and that I feel like I need to destroy.
Okay, I would say in modern times, the opinion has shifted. I'd say most people are like meh on part 3. If
Maybe I have
anything-
too many. I have too many JoJo friends.
You have too many JoJo friends.
Yeah.
You gotta start shedding them off, man. It's like, okay, buddy, let's stop talking JoJo. Okay? The ending of part 3, that didn't do anything for you.
I like the ending. I like the last like 5.
He's liked it because
Ten
it was
episodes.
over.
No, the last 5
Bec-
episodes are literally
Because
like
they
the best
they
episodes of
finally got
television.
to they finally got to the story in the last 10 episodes.
You watched the Gambler episode and not even a smile on your face during the
You
Gambler.
want to know what happened between there's 75 episodes? What? How many episodes?
No,
100.
Good
it's only
lord.
50. It was 50 for part 3.
50 episodes? Okay, 50. So you know what the episodes 1 through 40 was, Simone? It was filler.
It was
And so
not
we would've
filler.
been-
It's not. It's them getting to Egypt, and then they get to Egypt, and then they go to Dio.
Yeah, it takes 40 episodes to get to Egypt.
Oh my god! It does not take 40 episodes. It takes 24 to get to Egypt.
Why does it take 24 episodes to get to Egypt?
Because it's a whole journey around the world. It's a road trip with the boys. The whole point of that game is that the show is that it's a road trip with the gang.
It's Final Fantasy 15, the anime.
Yes, that's a great example. I
So
haven't
Bench would
played
hate
15.
it.
Bench doesn't exist to me.
But then the other thing was I decided to get back into a show I started at the beginning of the season, but just dropped it. Because I'm like, you know what, this feels like a show I should just wait until it's all out. And that's the, oh god, how do they word it in the title? The Foolish Angel Dances with the Devil, I think it's what it is. It's going a different direction I thought it would, so I'm a little bit more invested now. But it's basically the whole show is there's these angels and demons among us, and there are these two
Among Us?
obvious high schoolers, and they start to realize that they've been lied to like their whole lives about like the whole war between angels and demons. So now they're starting to work together to find out like what's going on. And of course, there's also romantic subplot between the two because, of course,
It's like a mystery.
Is there
mystery.
action?
What's that?
Is there action?
Yeah, like the angels and demons fight. Like they actually have like angel powers. She has wings and a scythe, and he has like a demonic form that he can transform into. I'm only like 3 or 4 episodes in, so I haven't gotten too much, but it's fine for what it is so far. It's a lot more comedic than I thought it would be. It's a little bit more. It's a little bit of a gag anime in some senses. It does weird tonal shifts. Like sometimes they'll be do this like serious conversation about like the war between angels and demons, and then the other time they're like fighting each other's affections for one another. It shifts so quickly. But I'll keep you updated because now I'm kind of invested after what happened in the last episode. So I'll probably finish that up. I think the last episode is this week or next week, so I'll be probably done by the next episode of that we record. Then I think that was it. Oh, I started reading. I don't know what came over me, but I decided, you know what? I need to read the manga for Love After World Domination because I really like the anime. And
The Power Ranger show.
yeah,
No, yeah,
I
yeah.
love that show.
it was
I
so
watched
good,
that like
and
a month ago.
it was like it's not getting a season 2, and the manga was like abruptly ended. So I'm like, and I think there's only like 37 chapters. I'm like, okay, I'll just go read it. I don't know why, but I just find the whole setup of that show. Okay, hi Craig. I just find the whole setup interesting, and I love the gag humor in it. So I just need to read the whole thing. Plus, that Desumi girl, the main girl, is like really cute.
That's the whole reason you started again. You were like,
Yes.
"Oh, I miss her."
I think the reason why I was like thinking about it is because I'm writing a script for a TV show that has a kind of similar premise. So I started thinking about like, because I think me watching that anime is what gave me the idea for the show that I'm writing. So now I'm going back to the source to be like, okay, how can I work on this some more?
How can I not accidentally rip?
How
it
can I
off
not
like
accidentally
that?
rip this off?
No, you know who the actual best girl in that show was? I forgot it. I think it was like Miss Saki or something. It was like
Like, was
she was
she one
like
of the
Yellow
good guys or
Ranger.
bad
Was she
guys?
the villain?
She was one of the good
Was she
guys.
The Yellow Ranger?
Oh,
Oh.
the basic one.
That
Yeah.
basic. He said that. He said that. He said, "Fuck you, Wolf. Your taste is trash." God damn. Okay.
But yeah, I
You
got a
know what?
couple
I like
chapters.
basic. It's like ice cream. Okay, ice cream
It's
is
vanilla.
basic. I still fucking
Yeah.
yes, I fucking love vanilla. I don't give a shit.
Everyone likes
The-
vanilla.
Vanilla's amazing.
Because vanilla's good. That's why. I hate this. Go continue, Moon, please.
But I only got a couple chapters in because I'm reading it at work when it's slow. And I don't know if it's the way the Japanese is written or it's just a poor translation, but some of the just dialogue in English is just kind of awkward. So I don't know if
Is
it's
it is it fan translated?
I'm pretty sure it's officially out. Maybe the ones that I'm reading is a fan translation. I would have to double check. Because I'm reading on Manga Dex, so it might be a fan translation.
Manga Dex is always weird when it comes to like trying to figure out which chapter is which, or
Yeah,
which
it's a little
translation is which.
messy. Like I'm starting to look at like other websites. Though I stick to Manga Dex because that's where immediately 100 Girlfriends manga chapters go. So I'm staying there.
Well, it's also
What do you,
just easily
what
the
do you
best
use?
layout. There's like no ads on Manga Dex.
What app do you use?
Manga
What
Dex.
I mean, what phone do you use? iPhone or Android?
iPhone?
Oh, I'll send you a link for one where you can grab multiple sources. You just put the link of the source you want, and it'll grab all the manga from that site, and you can just update it. It updates automatically.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, 'cause that's another thing I've noticed with Manga Dex for whatever reason. I think it's because it's entirely like user based. Is there will be some manga and it finished like 3 years ago. I was just looking at one. I don't remember what the show was or the manga was. And I'm like, oh, this thing finished like 3 years ago. Maybe I'll read it. And there's like 10 chapters missing off the end for on Manga Dex, and it's like I gotta go find it somewhere else. Actually, I think it is World After Love After World Domination. It's like it ends at 37, but they're only like to 30 on Manga Dex. I'm like, why? So that's annoying.
Yeah, honestly, you got me. So it just ended abruptly. Like there's no actual.
From what I
ending, it
was
got
reading,
canceled?
because I think what set me down was one of the YouTube community posts of a channel I followed was made like a meme about it, and of course the comment section's like Phil talking about it, and someone mentioned there that it wasn't a popular manga. The anime was like their last ditch effort to try to get some sales, and the anime didn't take off. So the mangaka knew that it was coming to an end, so he kind of rushed the ending because he had to. His editor was like, "Yo, get off this thing, go to something else."
So you're telling me Rent a Girlfriend is popular, but the people
Pretty
Yes,
much.
Rent.
This is why I hate
Hey,
anime
hey.
fans.
Rent a Girlfriend is good trash. Okay, leave
People
it
love
alone.
their trash.
Yes.
Yeah, no, but this
It-
is just a good show. This is
Okay. I like the show, but I wouldn't put it above Rent a Girlfriend.
okay. Can we get that as
That's
a
an
soundbite?
interesting that's an interesting conversation. It's like
I'm gonna put
love.
that as a soundbite.
It's like I like Love After World Domination, but I wouldn't put it above Rent a Girlfriend.
Just uttering both shows in the same sentence. Like, come on, man. I haven't watched Rent a Girlfriend, so who knows? Maybe I watch it and I'm like, yo, hang on, guys. I doubt it, though.
I will
fucking-
say, at least from
everything I
what
say
I've
about it, no.
from what I've seen, the anime's doing a better job because it's cutting out a lot of the crap the manga did. So I'm really curious how they're going to handle the next season because apparently, from my understanding, is
When it's
everything
actually good.
everything after this has a lot of bad filler. So it'd be interesting to see how much they cut out.
everyone always tells it's like the next season. It's like, guys, this is when it actually like the one good arc.
The one good arc it has.
Look, look, Rent a Girlfriend is mind numbing. You sit down, you don't think about shit, you watch it.
You watch
You
this guy
know
be an
it's
absolute
trash.
asshole.
Yeah, yes. You know it's trash because the main character is a piece of shit, but it's okay
Because the
because
girls are
it's good
cute.
trash. Oh,
I
and no, well, aside from the girls, the what's it called, the outfits, the clothing designs. That every new episode, they're wearing something different.
It's so good. There's a fashion designer on that team somewhere.
Yeah. Oh no, there's a YouTube video of a guy going to the Arthur's house, and he described how he does it. He gets a whole bunch of fashion magazines, and he looks through them, and then studies them, and then draws them. That's how he does it.
Yeah, I love when shows do that where they're just like,
Go the extra
hey,
mile.
they're not gonna wear the same clothes every day, so we're actually gonna have them wear something different every single
Except the
day.
main character, because he's a piece of shit. But it's okay.
Do you think that's why a lot of manga and anime take place in high school, so they don't have to give them clothes? They just like, okay, everyone just wears a high school uniform.
That's 100. That's
No, yeah, well,
I don't think that's the
I mean,
reason, but I
But it
think that's
helps.
one thing where they're like, you maybe this does work better in high school. Like they think about it more. But yeah, that's everything you're watching.
Yeah, I think that's about it. And then I'll report back on the Bunny Girl Senpai movies next week or next time.
Cool.
I'm ready to cry.
I had a couple things I wanted to mention. So I mentioned this earlier, but Akira Toriyama sadly passed away about a couple weeks ago. It was actually a week before they announced it because they wanted to give the family privacy, which I fully respect. It hit me a lot harder than I expected to. I kind of forgot how much of a fan of Toriyama's works that I am, and like I say what you want about like his actual like works. I think the one thing you can definitely say is his works fully inspired like
oh
A
yeah,
lot.
everything that we have. Like every anime now is in at least like in the
he,
shonen space is fully inspired from Toriyama. He is
he's
the
the
grandfather.
grandfather of shonen. Yeah.
Exactly. Like Bleach, One Piece, Naruto, we wouldn't have any of the big three, which those big three would later inspire pretty much every modern shonen we have now. You can't
Not
like
only that, but also the anime takeover of other countries outside of Japan. Like if it wasn't for
oh
these
yeah.
Dragon Balls and Naruto's and all that becoming popular and then going overseas, anime and manga wouldn't be as big as it is today.
Yeah, I mean, look at Dragon Ball in Latin America. Like they were advertising the
Agreed.
Goku versus Jiren fight like it was an actual like MMA fight. It was a massive deal in like Mexico and whatnot. They had like whole ass theaters like illegally live streaming it, and even when they sent like DMCA's to Mexico, they ignored them. It was absolutely incredible.
I will ask like one of my family members, like adult, back then, if they watched anime. They will all say no, but if I ask them if they watch Dragon Ball Z, they will all say yes. They're all from Colombia,
Exactly.
by the way. They're from Latin America. So
Yeah, I mean, in a way it transcended anime. It very much introduced an entire generation of kids, adults, all these people into this medium, and you can't deny its impact on the industry and storytelling in general. Like it is a pop cultural icon. So that and even then, like Toriyama also worked on Dragon Quest and Chrono Trigger. Like two massive like one of the biggest Japanese gaming franchises, Dragon Quest, and then Chrono Trigger, which is widely regarded as one of the best RPGs. He was a very instrumental part in both of those franchises. So that just tells you how big of a reach he had, both in gaming,
Dude was
anime,
everywhere and
manga.
influential everywhere.
Exactly, and he was a very humble guy. Like there are barely any photos of him in the last few years. He's just not a very public person, which I really respect. He's just like, nah, I just want to like stay in my room and like start drawing cartoons. That's kind of how he would put it, and I
He was
really
also a lot
respect that.
younger than I thought he would be, considering like how long he's been in the industry.
Yeah, 68 is when he died,
yep.
which. And I mean, it kind of goes to show because he died at 68. The Berserk author Kentaro Miura, rest in peace as well. He died at 62, if I remember correctly. But a lot of these manga authors, because of how grueling and brutal the job is, they die very young, and it always gets me worried about like
Oda. For someone protect Oda.
Oda.
I mean, Oda,
Oda.
Togashi, I'm genuinely terrified for sometimes because Togashi's always talking about how, if you don't know, Togashi, author of Hunter x Hunter and Yu Yu Hakusho. But I'm genuinely terrified that like something's gonna happen to him because he's always talking about his health and his problems with it. But yeah, this is like a really grueling job, and it shows just it sucks to see how young they die.
Isn't Toriyama's, it was some kind of like injury related, it seemed like, at least from what they said.
It was an injury. He was there was like a I forget what it was. It was like a message he sent in regards to winning an award before he passed away. And it was in the letter he talked about how like his health was deteriorating. He knew he was like most likely going to die soon, which is absolutely depressing. But yeah, no, it was a brain injury, something related to the
It's like a blood clot or something like that, or like leaking in the brain, which usually you only get those after you get hit or you fall or something.
Yeah, which just shows how much he was working. They really said. I mean, the dude was 68 and he was no signs of retiring. Like he had Dragon Ball Die, which is still supposed to come out, I think this year. I might be wrong. The new Dragon Ball series.
What was he making?
He was
I thought
doing
he was
Dragon Ball
retired
Die.
then.
No, he is not retired.
Die?
Dragon Ball Die. He worked on that. He was working on Sandland. He did some stuff for that, and I think he was doing monster designs for Dragon Quest 12. But yeah, he was still very involved in a lot of the franchises he kind of spearheaded, which is surprising. Again, like 68 years old, and he could have retired. He was a millionaire, and he lived a very humble life. Like the last interview with him in person, he was just wearing a tracksuit. He's just some guy, and I really respected him. But yeah, rest in peace, Toriyama. Do you guys have any memories of Toriyama, like your first exposure to any of his works?
Just Dragon Ball's, watching Dragon Ball Z, and then coming back and watching the same scene of Dragon Ball Z for the next 3 episodes. That was part of being a Dragon Ball fan back in the 2000s.
But yeah, I mean, as a kid though, you were just like, hell yeah, he's still
Yeah,
charging. Go get him, Goku.
Kid, you see Goku go through a transition from Super Saiyan for the first time, but it took like 5 episodes for him to take everything in.
I was a big fan of what's it called? When I was a kid, I didn't directly watch Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball or any of that. But I would go over to friends' houses and we would just watch Dragon Ball Z like every now and then whenever there was an episode on. And we played a lot of Budokai. My exposure to Dragon Ball is mostly the games. I love the Budokai games, Tenkaichi, all that good shit. I got really into Fighter Z for a little bit. It's just I love those characters so much. It just again, the character designs are just some of the best of all time. My favorite character has always been Vegeta, which anyone who plays Fortnite with me knows that because I always just wear the Vegeta skin, nothing else. But I also, the other character I love, I forget her name. Android 18.
Boo. You mean Boo?
Oh, no,
Boo.
you know, I know my favorite. My favorite, aside from Vegeta, my favorite is Cell. I love Cell. Cell is a fucking badass. I know it's like a goofy. I'm just a sucker for Dragon Ball villains because they are just stereotypically evil. Like no real intrigue or like crazy plot line. They're just like, yeah, I want to blow up planets because I can, and I fucking love that in a villain. But yeah, rest in peace, Toriyama. I hope all of his future works and like everything comes out and everyone's like able to like, I don't want to say move past this, but like kind of accept what happened and they're like willing to say, you know what, it's time to like move on and fully respect his works for what they were. Yeah. Tough transition, but sorry, Navi, you had something?
No, you go.
Okay. Tough transition. I just want to end on one little topic I was actually very interested in hearing y'all's take on. In recent times, I've been seeing a lot of people talk a lot about piracy. If you're a gamer, you know about the whole Yuzu emulation situation with Nintendo. And I kind of wanted to hear y'all's thoughts on anime with piracy. Because if there's one thing anime is known for, is being pirated. There's a lot of pirate sites. A lot of people don't want to pay for anime. Manga especially it's just like just search it up on like manga decks and whatnot, as we say. So it all comes down to like, hey, where can we get these like series? I would rather not pay for it. I would rather not do the streaming, all that. I just want to kind of ask a question, just straight up. Why do you guys think anime piracy is so prevalent, especially like within
Well,
the anime space?
it, it's because anime started on piracy. So when you have a base, because back then there wasn't Crunchyroll. Where I watched anime was in man, I don't even remember the websites. I remember going to Crunchyroll before it was legal because they did pirate.
Oh yeah,
They
it was
yeah,
originally a pirate site.
it was a pirate site at first. Uh, that's the only site I remember, but that's only because I still use it. Uh, but it's hard to get out of that because it started on piracy. The only way you could watch anime from America is through piracy.
Yeah, so
But
it's
that
very much a like kind of like inherent thing within the community. It's
just
like, hey,
just
we're gonna keep
just
pirating.
just like manga. You could well now they have an app and everything, and it's not that expensive. It's $2 a month, but it only has very specific manga, mostly shonen.
Do you think this is I think about this analogy a lot. You know, Steam and how that famous Gabe Newell quote about how piracy is a service problem. It's about creating a better service than the pirates use.
Yes,
That way, people are not,
y-
you know,
that is
privy to
correct.
piracy. Is that the current
Peop
problem with anime, where Crunchyroll and these manga apps are just not up to snuff? These are not good enough.
well, I think
That's
piracy.
mostly it. Granted, it's also
I'm
just we live in a generation of people just don't want to pay for anything, especially entertainment. I mean, it's not just an anime thing; it's a television thing. I mean, there's been all those reports of like Game of Thrones was like the most pirated TV show of like multiple years. So it's just people not wanting to pay for stuff, especially when it gets locked behind a certain service, like how Game of Thrones was on HBO only, and now is it. So when stuff is gatekept, pretty much, for lack of a better word, to just one service, people aren't going to pay for that one service.
Yeah, exactly, and especially if you're not a weeb, you're not going you're not going to do Crunchyroll. Why would you do Crunchyroll to watch one show or two shows a season? It's not worth it for most people.
I mean, yeah, it's a situation where it's like a lot of people I know who aren't really that privy to the anime space. They just watch a couple things once or there. They'll ask me, it's like, hey, you know about this show? It's like, oh yeah, this show's really good. And it's like, is it on Netflix? It's like, no. It's like, okay, and then they just don't watch it.
Yeah.
And it's, they just don't want to buy a Crunchyroll. Like, oh, it's an app specifically for anime. It's like not everyone only watches anime, which is weird. Like Crunchyroll, you see them kind of branching out, like, oh, we are offering games. It's like, why? You know, people
Well,
are only here for the anime.
it's anime games, so that I think that's fine.
I mean,
Because
I know it's, but it's just
but
like a
but
random thing.
because I know there was like three like a big game they created that they just ended a week ago or two.
Yeah, I think it was like a gotcha game. Or am I wrong?
Yeah, but it was
Ooh,
a
I forget
big
the
thing
name.
in the anime community. That's all I saw on my feed.
Do you think one of the other problems is kind of just like a problem with streaming services at the moment? There's just too many, and it's kind of reaching a point where, like, Moon, you talked about this with what was it, Takage-san, something like that, teasing
Yeah,
someone.
TZ Master.
Yeah, where it's like season one's on Netflix, season two's on Crunchyroll, season three's on High Dive. It's like, what the fuck? Like, is it this current issue of like all these licenses, all these streaming services? There's way too many. Is there a future, and this is kind of a broader thing into streaming services in general, where we start to just cut down on them and
Well,
these
I
companies
mean,
start to
yes
actually
and
work
no, because
smarter?
I mean,
well,
look at
they're
what
dying out
happened.
already.
I mean, look what happened with cable television is you had to buy certain
Yeah.
packages that had certain channels. We're just repeating history with that yet again. And no, because I don't think it's obviously some of the smaller ones will die off, but the thing is that's going to keep all these streaming services alive, and the reason why it's always going to be as diverse, or lack of a better word, or I can't think of a better word than diverse, is because there's all these companies. Obviously, Warner Brothers, Disney, all these other companies, they're not going to merge into like, okay, you can have all your streaming services, all your streaming shows in one place. Like, no one's going to do that because they don't want to share the money.
Well, here's the thing: they're eventually going, like Paramount Plus. That's eventually going to close down, and that's gonna fuse with one of the other services.
Yeah, I can't remember which one it
Just
Yeah, I heard
was.
about that. I think it was Warner
so,
Brothers is fusing with Viacom, or maybe I'm thinking of a different company.
but that's what's going to keep happening. So, a
It's
lot
gonna
of
happen to the
these,
smaller ones, yeah. Like Peacock, I don't think is gonna last for much longer unless I think Peacock is like probably one of the leading ones in like football. So unless it lives only on football, like live sports, that's probably
the
gonna go
wrestling,
away.
yeah, it's wrestling, I think. But yeah,
That was-
uh, the other thing is you also got you got High Dive now, and then you got Crunchyroll, and
That's it.
High Dive, High Dive is like the biggest issue because High Dive, one, you only get High Dive if you're degenerate because they have uncensored anime,
All
and
the
you want to
weird
see
shit goes to
tits.
High Dive.
Yeah, if you want to see tits, you go to High Dive. But also they sometimes get really good shows like Made in Abyss, and I'm not gonna pay High Dive just to watch Hey Made in Abyss, and that's how most people think about it.
I
I guess
also think
I know I'm different
Go
because
ahead.
granted, High Dive is one of the cheapest ones. Like it's even cheaper than Crunchyroll. I paid for a year
It's
subscription. I paid like $30 for it.
uh, that's not bad actually.
I mean, I
So
think
I use
one
I use my friend's High Dive, but yeah.
I think a current major issue I would say is just the quality of the streaming apps themselves. I know as someone who uses Crunchyroll and High Dive sometimes, whenever there are times when I try to use High Dive and I'm like trying to watch an episode and the app just won't load and it like repeatedly won't load and there's a lot of features that it doesn't have where I can't skip the intro, like sometimes the app just starts to close and my internet will be fine, but then the app decides, you know what, actually we can't stream
huh,
the rest. And this is an
I've
issue on
never
Crunchyroll as well.
I've never had those
And
issues.
oh, really? Well, that's weird because like I feel like Crunchyroll is down most of the time.
Are you are you, are
Whenever I
you,
try to
are
go
you
ahead.
doing it from your PlayStation?
Yes.
That might be the issue.
Yeah, because I
Well, I
use
mean,
mine through my Roku device, and I
Yeah,
never have those
I
kinds of
use
issues.
same.
just in general, I think this is an issue. Like, they're owned by Sony. It should work
Yeah,
on PlayStation, you know.
nah.
And like, I don't know. It's just a weird thing where I'm like, why is it struggling to load? And I know I'm not alone. I go on Twitter and like there are Crunchyroll outages all the time, and people are always complaining about like the quality of the service. Do you guys think like Crunchyroll is starting to reach a point where they're getting a little too comfortable now that there's not a lot of competition? So they're like,
Oh yeah,
yeah, we don't really need to
Well,
try.
yeah, they brought all the competition out. Uh, well,
Yeah, exactly.
all the anime focused competition. Uh, but they also add more to their service. So, for example, I'm paying $15 a month for Crunchyroll. I don't use Crunchyroll much because I get my anime from somewhere else. Let's say that. But I'm still
For sure.
supporting by paying for Crunchyroll. So I'm prepared. But the service adds more to it. Like I get free shipping, I get 15% off on my Crunchyroll store products. Uh, and I think and that's the same for Amazon Prime. I watch my anime there. I also buy everything. I get it. I also get free shipping from there. I think that's the direction it's gonna go instead of uh, instead of all of them fusing together. They're just gonna add more to their service and
well, yeah,
in
because they
different
want to get your
ways.
subscription, so they're gonna throw as
And
much as they can at it.
yeah, instead of
I think
improving the quality.
Yeah, I think you might be onto something. Instead of like, because like you are a Crunchyroll subscriber who doesn't really use the actual streaming service, but you use the other benefits like the
Yeah.
games, the what was it, the free shipping, like you get deals on certain purchases.
Yep.
That maybe that's just a thing that other streaming services are going to start going towards. I mean, Amazon Prime. I just pay for Amazon Prime. Well, technically, my dad pays for it. I just hog his account, but I'm just on that account, and it's like, oh, you get Prime Video. It's like, okay, if there's something on Prime Video, there it is if I want to watch it. But you're mostly on Prime. You get Prime because you want free shipping. Like that's 90%
Yep.
of people who buy Amazon Prime. So maybe that's just a situation we see in the future where a lot of these services is Netflix going to go back into mail-in order shipping the
Uh,
DVDs to that'd
no,
be
but
crazy, honestly.
they're going to video games. So they're trying
There
to
you
do
go.
different things with their services.
It's about differentiating your market instead of just like being pigeonholed into one thing.
It's like, Navi, we need to like share a Crunchyroll account because I only use it for streaming. I don't buy anything from their store, and that's all you do. It's like
Oh,
together
dude,
we'll make full use of one account.
Fusion Dance.
dude, I am so down because
Wait,
I got the super package.
Yeah, I think I pay
Crunchyroll-
for the one below that. Like, I think there's like the
Yeah.
basic, the middle, and the top one. I think I pay for the middle one, which is like $10 a month.
Yeah, I
Doesn't,
pay 15.
Crunchyroll have a family plan?
Don't
Not
think
sure.
so.
I don't think because you don't really need a family plan. They don't mind you sharing as long as it's not excessive.
You know, you don't need no one with a family watches anime.
Yeah, no, I was literally about to say that. It's like, okay, introduce me to the family that watches anime, and not just the weird person sitting in his basement.
I have a sister who watches anime, so you know, I'm basically one step closer to the family plan. Do you guys think like we're just gonna start? We're kind of at an impasse where like we're not gonna see streaming services die off, but we're also not gonna see new ones sprout out. We're kind of just in this. Crunchyroll and High Dive are kind of just the
Yeah.
two anime
Pretty
focused
much.
ones.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
Netflix is
Crunchyroll.
also in the anime game, and even Disney's now kind of in the anime game. They're getting their own exclusive ones.
So yeah,
Disney.
people say Crunchyroll has a monopoly on anime, which is kind of true, but it's not at the same time because there are many other services that have anime like Netflix, Hulu, Disney.
I mean, Disney. I will say Disney gets anime. It's always a funny thing when you see the anime community react to Disney getting an anime. It's just a collective disappointment because they do not market these anime at all. They do not like try to. I feel like Disney forgets they buy the streaming services to these anime, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you can watch Undead Unluck," which is a
And
show
then
that like I thought was going to be massive, but nobody talked about it because it was on Disney.
Well, I mean, is it that because, or was the show just kind of mid? Because I haven't seen anyone talk about
Yeah.
it.
Oh no, people liked it. I mean, I've seen a lot
Because
of
I
people
mean,
who did watch
Bleach,
it.
Bleach was
it's
also
not
on Disney,
Bleach,
but
yeah.
Bleach people were talking about Bleach.
I don't think
Yeah.
Undead is very mainstream, but I see what you're getting at. Like, there's
I
a
mean, they
lot of
definitely
anime.
tried. When I went to Anime Expo last year, there were posters for it everywhere. They definitely tried. There was a whole Hulu booth on the convention floor promoting whatever animes they had on Hulu, which was Undead Unluck, Bleach, and a couple others.
Interesting.
So, although
I think
that
that's
also
the
reminds me, Navi, I did watch some more episodes of Summertime Rendering.
and how is it going?
Good. I'm getting farther. It's getting more interesting. I
Okay,
still have
good.
this pacing problem with it.
It's I'm not sure. I really like the pacing, but you keep watching. You'll see. I'm not. I don't remember. I really like the show.
I
I
like its
really like
premise
it.
and I like its ideas, but just the minute to minute like dialogue, pacing, stuff like that, just something just feels off, and I don't know what it is.
I'm not sure. I can't imagine how you wouldn't like that show, but like a race. It's hard. Like I like a race. I like a race a lot, except the last few episodes.
And
But
I know I'm the weird one who actually likes a race ending.
it feels so similar in certain ways.
It is like it's a whole mystery, and you always wonder how things are going to. And I like that part of Summertime Rendering. Like I said, I like the overall big picture of it. I'm just not liking just the minute to minute stuff.
Yeah, I see. I don't remember there's a lot of talking, but I'll have to rewatch it, even though I rewatched it like 3 months ago.
I'm gonna to close out the topic before it was hijacked. No, I'm kidding. But to close out the topic about anime piracy, just a question that I already kind of know the answer for. Do you think any of these Japanese companies really give a shit when it comes to
No.
like the Western fans
No,
or
as
anything
long
like
as they
that?
No,
get okay, I think they care a little bit.
they don't give a shit about us.
They
Well,
don't.
they only the mainstream animes like Baku no Hero cares about us. Bleach, because these animes are really big here. They might be bigger here than they are in Japan,
Yeah,
but most
didn't I hear that like Attack on Titan is much bigger in the West than it is in actual Japan?
It's much bigger in the West. It's
it has it
substantially
has
so.
white people. So yeah,
I mean, Okay, I think it really comes down to like we always talk about like these streaming services. Japan does not give a shit about any of this because they're like, well, we just sell the rights for them to stream the shows, and then that's our paycheck. It doesn't matter how many
Yep,
people in the West watch the show or not. We
Yeah,
already got
that's
the
right.
money,
they got their money,
That's
and
right.
they're good.
and they definitely do like hold an opinion higher for like a lot of the home audience because they're the ones like in Japan buying the merch, buying the stuff, buying the statue, all that.
Yep.
You see like Chainsaw Man, for example, which was heavily panned in Japan. The Japanese audience was not a fan of the anime adaptation. And it kind of shows like how long it took just for them to announce a movie. We're not even like a season 2. Where in the West, Chainsaw Man was huge. Like everybody like watched Chainsaw Man, even if people didn't really like it, like everybody watched the show. Is it you think that's always going to be the case no matter how big anime gets in the West? It's always going to be like, well, we're going to focus on the Japanese audience first and foremost.
Yeah, because they're always going to focus on their home thing, and then anything that they get out of the West is just bonus. Like if it becomes like a worldwide sensation, like we get the next
Yeah.
My Hero Academia or whatever, sure, everyone dreams of having their show be a big success like that, but I think they just focus more on what's going to sell in our home country because that's where determines if we keep making it or not.
Like
Exactly.
recently, like in the past, what I want to say 5 or 6 years, One Piece has become a huge thing in the West. But before that,
Oh yeah.
they didn't even care about us. It was a more condensed thing in Japan.
What? No, One Piece is like the biggest thing in Japan, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the #1 anime. But in the US,
Oh,
most
okay. No,
people
you were okay. I
back
get what you mean
then,
now.
yeah, in the US.
Wasn't
No,
One
yeah,
Piece like really big in like Mexico or something like that?
no, that's
Was it
Dragon
Mexico?
Ball. I think no,
It
One
it
Piece is
was
I
it's
remember
the
a
biggest in
Spanish speaking.
Japan.
I remember a Spanish speaking country being like really big One Piece fans. I can't remember which one it was.
Might have been Latin America or like South America, like
Maybe.
Brazil. I know
Brazil
a lot of
sounds
South
right.
Americans. Yeah, I know a lot of Latin Americans. They're really into One Piece. I got a few friends like that.
oh,
But
it's
no, I mean like
Brazil.
Brazil.
Brazil, yeah, One Piece was really big in Brazil before it went worldwide big.
Yeah, I would say it
'Cause
wasn't until like
recently, like in the past, because I watched One Piece like 10 years ago, maybe 11, and it
oh
was
yeah,
only recently until people started
and COVID.
talking about it. It was probably COVID. It might have been COVID because
It
everyone
was
was
COVID
inside.
because like you're stuck inside. It's like, well, I got no better excuse.
Thousand
It's a
1,000
episodes. Here we
1,000
go.
episodes. It is. I am loving how popular anime is getting in the West, but it's also like another thing of like, now that's more popular. Now we get more of the weirdos and the people whining and the annoying anime fans. So that's fun, but
It's not even
it's an
that
overall
because
plus.
it's overall. It's just interesting though because it's just got normified a lot. Because when at my job, all I see are just Demon Slayer T-shirts and Dragon Ball T-shirts, and the occasional like Naruto and Jujutsu Kaisen. So it's only those shows that really are popping up. It's like people, for the most part, are becoming like anime people like us who watch 3 to 4, 5, 6 different shows spanning multiple genres. They're gonna watch the one big popular show, and that's
Yeah,
about it.
everyone's talking about. Yeah, and
And the
it's
next
mostly
one,
gonna be
Yep.
shonen.
yeah, the next thing that's probably
But
gonna be that is gonna be Kaiju #8.
then you got those people that have the car decals of bunny girls.
Yeah, that's me.
No, you
And
do
the
not,
hentai
Moon.
jackets. You got
No,
a
No, I
hentai
don't.
jacket, Moon? Damn.
I knew
No,
I knew someone in my high school that wore a hentai jacket. No one sat next to him. He was such a weirdo.
Poor
there
kid.
was a Bunny Girl Senpai jacket I almost got. It was really cool looking. But no, the only thing I have on my car is I have a Persona 5 license plate frame.
Oh, I mean
I
that's
have
cool.
no.
Like that's just a small thing.
You would never think I'm a weeb by looking at me. Not even at
I
my
mean,
I
car.
try to.
I have
Sam,
nothing weeb. I have nothing weeb. It's
I
All
think
my
if
weeb
you
stuff
come
is
in,
in my room, and that's it.
yeah, same. I have like a few statues of like Luffy and Zoro, but that's about it.
I
And
don't
even
even
then, I
have
mean that's like
statues.
One Piece. So it's not like the ultra weeb shit. Like you're not gonna catch me with a bunny girl statue. That's all I'll say. Moon.
Gonna go
I
hide
would
mine
get
now.
a but I would get a bunny ghost statue, but I'm too self-conscious.
Same.
Smart guy. Same.
At
On
some
that
point, I would
note-
like to bring people over.
Exactly. But on that note, I think that's everything. That was a good conversation about piracy. I am very curious to see where it goes from here. Just one last note. It is kind of crazy as someone who had to peruse a piracy site for a couple of shows once. Those sites are really freaking good. Like the episodes load like instantly. There's like the skipped intro button. There's timestamps. It's like, damn, okay, these guys really know what they're doing here.
Because it's like the perfect epitome of like by fans for fans kind of thing.
Exactly. Oh yeah, no, for sure. But with that, I think we're ready to call it. Very good
Actually, I
episode.
want to bring up
short.
one quick thing that I found.
Go for it.
I don't know if you guys noticed this on the My Anime list, but apparently they have a fantasy league on their website.
Yeah,
Ooh, that would be fun. Yeah, I tried it once and I was like, man, I don't know anime at all.
you can't. I was
Like-
gonna suggest it that we all play, but you can't make your own team. It's like a
Yeah,
community
you can't make
thing.
like a league. Like you just make your teams
Yeah.
and they kind of go against everyone. I just want
do
to
separate
point out
ones.
something interesting. Like you pick 5, you have 3 on the bench that you can swap out in case like one of your 5 turns out to not to be so good. I find it really funny though. Down here, there's a blacklist. So blacklisted anime for the upcoming
All
season.
the popular shows.
All the popular. So it's Konosuba season 3, Demon Slayer, Slime, My Hero Academia, Mushoku Taizen. It's like, yeah, of course, yeah, we're not gonna pick those.
Yeah, it's just like it's basically a league of like, okay, now you got the scraps. Like I played it once, and I got my ass handed to me. I'm like, damn, I don't know shit.
I'm gonna play this right now. I'm gonna get that bartender anime. I'm gonna get
I mean, wait, when's the deadline for starting?
10 days from now. There's a
Okay,
countdown
so
on
we
the
won't be
website.
able to do it. We won't be able to do
Yeah,
it.
we
for
would have
the
to do it
April
now. I
preview.
mean, it could just be the 3 of us, and we can leave Dark and Bench out in the dark.
Nah, I mean, we could save it for summer season. I think that'd be fun.
That might be more interesting because there's a lot more in the
Summer
summer
season, yeah.
season.
Yeah, summer season's even more packed.
can't
But
wait
if you
for
guys
that.
want to hear our thoughts on the spring season, tune in the week after next, which would be April 3rd. I checked earlier.
We record April 3rd, but the episode will be up April 4th.
April 4th, right? Yeah, I forgot. The episodes go out on Thursday. Every Thursday, well, not every Thursday, every other Thursday, you get an episode of Slice of Anime.
If you subscribe, we'll make it every week.
Yeah, exactly. We need to get some more click-throughs because, trust it, guys, this ain't our day job. Okay, so donate us money, give us super chats, give us I'd say about $50,000 for us to get off the ground, and then maybe you'll get a weekly anime podcast. Maybe
1 week of us just rambling about our latest rom-coms and isekais.
yapping about nothing basically. But if you enjoyed this episode, I know I had a lot of fun on this one. Check us out on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Pocket Cast, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Castbox, Radio Public, and Audible. Like the podcast. Check us out on Twitter. Check out our main show every Saturday morning. And I think with all of that, let's head out.
Wait, one last thing.
Go.
The next episode we're gonna be talking about that Odd Taxi. There are gonna be a lot of spoilers. So
Yes,
just
we'll have
heads up.
timestamps. Yeah, but we'll have timestamps for Odd Taxi when we start talking about it next episode. That's our anime book club for the month.
It's gonna
I'll
be a
get
long
around to
episode
starting
if we're
it.
gonna talk about the spring season and Odd Taxi.
It shouldn't be too bad. You know, we're actually time efficient. This was an hour-long episode. I never thought we'd the day where we'd get an hour-long podcast out. But yeah, with that. Oh, sorry, Navi, you had something, or is that all?
Yeah, just leave bench out, and it's an hour long.
Facts. Let's hope he doesn't listen to this episode. But with that, say goodbye, everyone.
See ya. Go watch
Have a
Bunny
good
Girl
night.
Senpai.
Go watch Boo.